books did have a big impact on me, but it was like the derivative of them that was having an impact on me. I did have and still do have a collection of books. The books that I actually did read that were like the Arnold Lobel books, like Frog and Toad and Owl at Home. I happen to have like little records that went with those books that I still have. And I think Arnold Lobel actually read those. And I was really big into books on tape. So I had a lot of books on tape that I still own. Some of those I've transferred some of them to CD, like Tom Sawyer and The Wizard of Oz. I had like some Garfield and things like that. But I loved them, and I would come home from school and I would just listen to these things and sit and draw. And it was just like listening to a story opened up my mind. Podcasts were not a thing in the 80s, but amazingly enough, I would get in trouble at school because I would draw all the time. And I actually at one point I was new at a specific school. And so trying to fit in, I would draw pictures for kids because anybody loved the kid who could draw. So one time I was drawing a picture of my teacher, and it was like this really mean, monstrous thing at the desk. And she was actually a really nice teacher. So I was doing it because I thought I would fit in with somebody. So our hand reached down and picked it up, and it was my teacher. My teacher actually took the picture, and I thought I was doomed. And I can remember she didn't do anything about it. And then parent teacher conference time came, and this was like fourth grade. I was sitting with my mom and dad, and I can remember my teacher, Miss Davis, pulling out that drawing. And I thought I was like, it was over for me. But then I can remember everybody laughing. And what happened was my teacher would do like because like back then in elementary school, you didn't go to different rooms for different subjects. So when it was reading time, she would read to us out loud. And she was reading Bunnicula. And what she told me was, I'm going to have you sit in the back row by yourself so that you're not distracting anybody during reading time. And she said, when I'm reading the book, I want you to draw what comes to your mind, illustrate the scenes that I'm reading to you. And that clicked in my head, because that was the same thing as when I go home and sit on my bed and turn on Tom Sawyer and listen to that, and then draw pictures of the cave, and have like the kids going down in the cave and pitfalls and stuff, and maybe Injun Joe is hiding in a corner or something. And so I would draw these Bunnicula scenes, and she would read them. And then she would encourage me during our library time to go find the Bunnicula books in the library and see what that illustrator had done when he had illustrated them. And that was like my first connection to the written word and an actual like illustration of the written word. So yeah, my inspiration from books doesn't come from being like, a literary nerd who really understood literature and just loved literature. I didn't grow up in a literary house. I didn't grow up in a house that we always had books, and we were encouraged to look and read them, but we didn't do a lot together with them. So as a very visual kid, who realized that they were very inspired by spoken word, that was how I connected to literature.